Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the most beautiful university campus in Hong Kong. First, I want to congratulate all of you. Despite the pandemic, you have made it and get into CUHK. Okay? Compared to high school, university education poses different new challenges in the next few years for all of you. This man, we call him Han Sei. He is the father of stress response. He said new life challenges can lead to eustress, mean beneficial stress, or distress. Distress means detrimental stress. Overcoming new challenges in university in the next few years will lead to eustress and personal growth. But overwhelmed by new challenges in university will lead to distress and suffering. And today, I'm going to use a simple model to help you to understand how stress and distress in the next few years may affect your body and mind, okay? In this model, there are 4 components. The S representing stress-inducing situation. And the A component, now any stress-inducing situation, like if you are overwhelmed by academic demands, then in your body, the first reaction will be the A component. We call the affective reaction. So I enlarge it here. The A component, we usually refer to affective reaction. In our brain, there's a part right there we call amygdala. I circle that in red. And we can just call it Amy. Okay, just for easy to remember. Amy usually have 3 possible reactions to any situation. Now, to help you to remember that, let's throw in some Cantonese. Amy can react to a situation either in a positive way we usually in Cantonese call 筍嘢, right? Or Amy can react in any situation in a negative way. Negative way in Cantonese say 賴嘢, right? And the third possible reaction will be neutral. Neutral is 冇嘢. So you can remember that, right? Your Amy in whatever situation can react in this 3 ways. If Amy react to a situation in a negative way, 賴嘢, then Amy will send signal to your body. That is the B component. Now the A, B, C. The B component refer to, say, our sympathetic nervous system. That is responsible for acute stress response. Also, our hormonal system. That is stress hormone cortisol. 長期皮質醇偏高, right? You heard about that in Hong Kong all the time. So that is the B component. And the C component refer to cognitive reaction. Our cognitive reaction basically refer to, say, memory reaction. We can have memory biases and attention biases, right? As well as interpretation biases. If Amy say 賴嘢, your body react in a negative way, you will automatically interpret the situation in a very negative way, right? That is SABC. So Han Sei talk about that. These 3 stages of stress reaction. The first stage, acute stress response. And the second stage, chronic stress response. And the final stage, the third stage, exhaustion stage. People will display anxiety symptom, depressive symptom, all kinds of psychosomatic symptom. And in Hong Kong, the common language is 情緒病, right? You heard about that all the time in your past, say, few years of high school. Now, you understand how your body and mind works in this kind of situation. The next topic I'm going to help you is, what can you do? So what can we do to enhance our resilience under stress and distress? I call it the 7 well approach. Actually, it's so simple. Now, the 7 well approach, including sleep well, eat well, exercise well, love well, learn well, play well, and mind well. I put stress as the first well. Very important to address for generation of your age. Especially now you're getting into university. And you're going to mingle with a lot of your peers in our residence. Many of you is going to accumulate a lot of sleep deficits in the next few years. I will highly recommend you not to do that. Now, this man's name is Matthew Walker. Matthew Walker is one of the top sleep scientists currently in University of California, Berkeley. He said, sleep is non-negotiable necessity. Why? Because sleep deficits will make your AMI hypersensitive to stress. If you do not sleep enough, your AMI react to any situation with 來嘢 all the time. If your AMI react in such a way, your body will activate that stress response, right? So make sure you remember that. And also, in basic scientific research, we know sleep deficit will impair your memory function. Sleep deficits will impair your learning function by as much as 40%. Actually, you can make a fool out of yourself just by accumulating sleep deficit. And sleep deficit also is one of the very strong factors in leading to depressive mood. That's what we have found in the past 10, 15 years. So I will recommend you, say, always sleep sufficient hours according to your need, 7 to 9 hours. Compensate for sleep deficit. Say sometimes, say in China, in Europe, a lot of people sleep, take a nap after lunch, something like that. If you're a sensitive individual, avoid caffeine, especially in the evening, because caffeine will disrupt your sleep, particularly your REM sleep, the rapid eye movement sleep. Avoid sleeping pills, because all sleeping pills, they are highly addictive. And they also will disrupt your REM sleep. That disrupt your dream. That will impair your cognitive function. Exercise regularly during daytime will improve sleep quality at night. So sleep sufficient hours, particularly when you are under chronic stress, okay? So the next thing is eat well. This man's name is Daniel Amen, one of the very competent clinical psychiatrists in the US. He said, food is a powerful drug. You can use it to help mood and cognitive ability, or you can unknowingly make things worse. We are what we eat. And why should we eat particularly well when we are under chronic stress and distress? Because when you are under chronic stress, you will have chronic elevation of cortisol, right? 長期皮質醇偏高. Cortisol's job is to break down large amino acids in our body, such as tyrosine, 酪氨酸, and tryptophan, 色氨酸. These 2 amino acids, they are very important to make very important neurotransmitters in our brain. There are 3 very important neurotransmitters in our brain you can see on this slide. One is what we call dopamine. 多巴胺. If you do not have sufficient dopamine in the pleasure pathway in your brain, you will feel extremely depressed and you want to kill yourself every single waking hour. And the one below that is norepinephrine, 去甲腎上腺素. Norepinephrine basically is the gasoline in your brain. If you do not have sufficient tyrosine, norepinephrine, to make these two neurotransmitters, because stress hormone convert them into glucose, then you will have that kind of neurotransmitter deficit. And on the other side is tryptophan. Tryptophan is 色氨酸. And in our body, the two enzymes will convert tryptophan into serotonin, 血清素. You all heard about that, right? Serotonin is the braking fluid in our brain, 剎車油. Without sufficient serotonin in our brain, you will have hard time to control your emotion. You have a hard time to control your negative thought. That's why you should eat a balanced diet and food rich in tryptophan and tyrosine. Okay? So those are some of the food that you can eat. But just remember, always eat a balanced diet. Eat a good portion of protein for breakfast because that will give you sufficient norepinephrine and dopamine in the morning. Eat a good portion of carbohydrates for dinner because that can help enhance serotonin in your brain. If you're a sensitive person, like I said earlier, avoid caffeine, just like dark tea, coffee, cola. Eat 3 different types of fruits. They give you vitamin. And 2 different types of vegetables per day. They give you vitamin ACE. Vitamin ACE, they're very important antioxidants in your body. Antioxidants help your body not to rust, right? And drink 2.5 to 3 liters of water daily, particularly when you are overstressed. Because water is the best 排毒美顏寶. Help us to really get rid of a lot of metabolites in our body when we are under a lot of stress. Now, the third one is exercise. Exercise well. Make sure you develop a good exercise habit, especially if you're in a very stressful type of major like medicine, like architecture, like, say, engineering. Because when we are under stress hormone in our body will be high, right? One of the stress hormone releasing factor, we call that ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone. And if ACTH high, cortisol will be high. And exercise, the best thing for exercise, they will do several things. Exercise will burn cortisol, lower your cortisol level, 降低皮質醇 in your body, and calm your AMY. Make AMY become quite calm. And exercise increase oxygen and glucose supplies to cells and neurons. Exercise help eliminate biochemical metabolites in the body quickly. Exercise burn out excessive stress hormone. And when you exercise over 30 minutes or more, your body will release endorphin in your brain that can alleviate physical pain and calm negative emotion. And in the past 20 years, we also find out exercise will increase brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, 大腦肥料. With BDNF, your neuron will grow much healthier. Okay? The fourth one, love well. Hans Selye lists 2 chronic sources of stress. Okay? The first one, he called that the relationship component in life. He recommends earn thy neighbor's love and be a holder of goodwill to make your environment less stressful. A lot of people become very depressed because they engage in chronic interpersonal conflict. And love comes from close emotional bonding between you and your peers, between you and your friends. And love can calm AMY, when you feel love with your friends. So anger and hostility will release norepinephrine and cortisol in your body. And love, close emotional bonding with others, just looking at picture like that, already will increase the secretion of oxytocin. Oxytocin is a love hormone. And dopamine. Dopamine help you feel good. And enhance positive emotion. Lower stress hormone cortisol. And strengthen your immune function. Okay? So just remember, establish good emotional bonding with others will help you to benefit from oxytocin. And if you cannot bond to people, bond to animals. Just like if you return home, your dog come to you and climb on you and make you feel wanted, make you feel loved, right? Remember that no drug can replace love in life, okay? When you have 情緒病, you better really develop this kind of close emotional bonding with others rather than keep taking medication. Okay? So the next one will be learn well. The second chronic source of stress, according to Hans Selye, he called that the competence component. Do what you like and what you were made to do at your own rate. Don't keep comparing to other people's, right? Follow your own speed. And this guy called Howard Gardner, he's a psychologist from Harvard University. He has a theory called multiple intelligence theory. In his theory, he talked about all of you. All of you in your DNA, you carry your strengths. Some of you are very good in language. Some of you may be very good with math. Some of you are very good with action, like athlete. Some of you are very good in music. Some of you are very good in art. We all carry our own strength. Find your own strength and make the best out of them, okay? So make sure in university, work well means study well. Strive for good match between your interests and the major you select. Good match between your personality and your major. Good match between your ability and your major, okay? Remember that. And the next one will be play well. Play activities. Some play activity that you enjoy very much, that basically will activate positive brain circuits and calm your Amy, okay? So healthy recreational activities activate positive emotion circuits and enhance dopamine. And losing yourself in recreational activity, 樂而忘我, right? Buy you some invaluable time to recover from stress and distress. So don't just study all the time. Spend some leisure time in a constructive way, okay? So the final one, mind well. This woman's name is Carol Dweck from Stanford University. She studied a construct called the growth mindset. She said, how far you go in life has more to do with your mindset than with your intelligence. So growth mindset means the people who believe that intelligence and all skills can be developed through hard work, good strategy, and input from others. And people who believe or who has a fixed mindset, they believe that intelligence and skills are inborn and cannot be changed. You can see the difference, how people develop. And in the university, we are promoting try to really cultivate a growth mindset in all of our students. Make sure you ask yourself, what kind of mindset you carry unconsciously in yourself, Okay? So that make a big difference. And the Office of Student Affairs at CUHK have all kinds of activity. They have planned many different activities related to this 7 well approach. And so stay tuned. And finally, I wish all of you best of luck. Good luck and have a memorable university life at CUHK. Okay? Thank you for your attention.